it's your man Charlie Dark, the superstar, here with my brother Maximilian. We represent Langston Hughes III, and we're about to get into a Merlot moment right here. Now, what Merlot moments are, it's Langston Hughes III saying big ups to you and yours, people out there that's doing big things, any and all things that's Langston, whether it's local, national, or international. If you out there doing your thing, we just wanted to take our time and just to acknowledge you and just to give you a heads up, raise our glass to you and yours. So with that being said, let's get into these Merlot moments, all right?
My name is George Miller. I'm a wardrobe consultant for Grady Erwin Men's Clothing Store here in 313 King Street, Charleston, South Carolina. As a young kid, my mom was a tailor for a clothing store called Vennings Menwear. She would take me to the store while she's working. I had the opportunity to run through like most kids would do, run through clothing. But I never really felt that this would be why I would have passion and desire. But as I got into Burke High School, I noticed some of the upperclassmen wearing bow ties, cardigan sweaters, khaki pants, topsiders, three-quarter cut valley shoes. I kind of fell into it. I had a friend by the name of Sylvester Walker. We would walk down King Street and we would do what ifs on stores like Bob Ellis, 319, the store that I'm working in now, Grady Erwin, Berlin's. We would look at stores like Ben Silver and just say what if. Well, I got an opportunity to work on King Street at Rangoni Men's Shoe Store, worked there 2 years, was recruited to work at Bob Ellis Shoe Store, worked there for a few years. We had an economic downturn, and I went to put in an application at the Ralph Lauren store right on this very same street. And at that point in time, within 24 to 48 hours, I was asked to come in for an interview. Did an interview with the regional manager out of Chicago. She gave me the opportunity, and at that point in time, I realized that maybe my life is predestined for me, and it allowed me to go ahead and instill the passion and desire that I have today. The basics I think a gentleman should have in his closet is a couple pairs of dress slacks, khaki, charcoal gray, multiple ties, multiple shirts, 2 suits, pattern, stripe, or solid, and my all-time favorite, which I think should be a prerequisite to a wardrobe, is a tuxedo. Because you never want to get to a place where there's a young lady who asks you to go to an after 6 engagement and you're not ready. So those are my basics that I have in my closet, and I think every other gentleman should have that as well. When it comes to do's and don'ts in fashion, I don't have any. I consider myself to be a wardrobe consultant, not a stylist. I'm not going to dictate what you should wear and how you should wear it. I feel as though I get the opportunity to have a conversation with you, what would allow me to see what type of character you have, your personality, and how you present yourself to the general public. And that's how I want to build your wardrobe, so you feel comfortable when you're out going to whatever the event may be. And that's why I don't have any do's or don'ts when it comes to a sense of fashion. For an individual who has limited funds, I would probably suggest they go into secondhand stores, consignment shops, or even a thrift shop, because everybody doesn't have the money to buy the name brand pieces or become, a slave to the fashion brand. And if you got the cash, that's fine. But I think, if you want to just make sure that you are presentable for whatever the occasion may be, whether it's an interview, a date with a significant other, or if you decide that you want to go out and actually just enjoy the night on the town, these are pieces that make you feel comfortable. Now, with that being said, you have to have a really good tailor to actually make this work. And that's a key intricate part of having that wardrobe set the way you want to have it set. This is brackish bow ties, which is made right here in South Carolina. We sell more than anybody in the United States. That's internet-wise and standing store. To the point where they decided to come and do this build out for us. And as you can see, they have cummerbunds that is accessorized with the bow ties. So here you would have the guinea fowl, which goes along with that particular guinea fowl. I also have, let me find it first. This is a Roosevelt, which technically doesn't go with this, but as you can see, you can wear the Roosevelt along with that cummerbund as well. And I would go ahead and show you what we call the Hugo, but we keep selling the Hugo, so it's not here. And that's brackish bow ties. Notables that I've helped in my career, one stick out, Kurt Franklin. Came in the store in Atlanta while I was working for Ralph Lauren in the Lenox Mall. And he came in, looked at a couple of suits. I introduced myself, asked him if he needed any assistance, then I'll be more than happy to help him. But what he turned around and told me he needed 2 suits, and the 2 suits weren't for him. It was for 2 childhood friends that he wanted to bring to Texas and pretty much allow them to go to church service with him. So that was pretty cool to see that somebody of that status coming back, grabbing someone out of the community, buying suits for them, giving them the wardrobe experience, and then taking them to church and actually sitting them in the service with them. It was a beautiful thing. I also do visual merchandising for the store, which we had the privilege of meeting Daniel Craig and Rachel Weisz while they were here on his birthday, to be exact, and he purchased a Macintosh jacket that we had sitting in the window. I didn't personally help him, but I was there when it happened, and that was pretty cool. For those who don't know, that's James Bond, 007. My future? That's a difficult one because I'm always happy in the moment. But most importantly, I like to always say, I never know what my future holds. I just thank God I know hold my future. And I say that in all sincerity because tomorrow isn't promised to you. But on the note, back to the question, I love to have my own apparel line, perhaps clothing line, or if I could become a consultant to a celebrity or someone of that particular status, that would be great. And I think my personal one that is dear to me is to influence a lot of youth to go ahead and kind of curb their sense of fashion. When I was young, I'm used to seeing my uncle, my dad, and some of the guys in my neighborhood coming home from an 8, 10, 12-hour day of work, taking a shower, and putting on their best digs and walking out the door. And that's what I consider as a true gentleman. But at some point in time, we kind of lost that. And by all means, I'm no connoisseur on the subject. I love t-shirts, jeans, and the J's, and the Timberland boots. Those are all great. I love it. But I just think, personally, if you want to be treated with respect and not a lack of, there's a different way to approach it. And that's what I think, is a little more dear to me. And that's why I do what I do today, simply because that same passion and desire to curb the youth mindset is why I do what I do.
Now that's Langston.
More than your tweets or your Facebook feuds. And I don't really with them tight pants dudes. This that grown man rapping sounds like gun clapping.
It's slapping like
what the fuck just happened?